What's going on, Undergated family? Undergated podcast. It's your boy CD, Chloe's dad, along with Gunpla X Tesseract, also known as Austen. We are 2/3 of the Undergated podcast, and today we are going to be bringing you a very, very special two-man team review. Talk about the Gundam Seed movie, Gundam Seed Freedom.
Yep, that's right. Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom, the movie that's taking over the Gundam world right now. What it originally launched in January in Japan. It made a ton of money. Was a bigger success I think most people thought or expected, and then it made it. Now it's finally here in the US, and we get to talk about it. Bro. So that's what we're gonna do, everybody. I gear up. I mean, hope you're ready. You got two fans of Gundam. I guess you're a fan of Gundam Seed, right?
Oh yeah, Gundam Seed's my top five.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, but I'm a Seed fan. I'm not like the hugest Seed fan. I might not. I know Austin. You might take the cake for it, but
I'm a little bit.
I'm with you. I'm definitely a Seed enthusiast. I know it gets a lot of hate, but it's definitely one of my favorite series. So this is going to be fun. As you can see, we're missing Coop here. Fortunately, he hasn't watched the movie yet. And I'm not sure if he actually will, but we'll hold it down just in case he doesn't. So let's get right into it, man. Quick synopsis. Do you want to do spoiler free, or are we going to spoil it? I feel like
it's it only played in the US for 1 week, or was it a couple days?
It's 2 weeks. Last Thursday.
So I feel like a lot of people who do want to see the movie who didn't get a chance to see it. Like I know one guy at our hobby town, Kenneth, he didn't get a chance to see it because he had school. He was going to college and everything. So I guess we should leave it somewhat spoiler free.
That's tough because
it's really
it
tough.
doesn't hit like here Blu-ray like DVD wise until November.
Ooh, okay, all right. How about this? We'll do spoiler, and this will be a firm warning to everybody. Then
right now,
we're gonna do our best to try and say spoiler warning before we say something. But
just
what happens. Just know you are walking into a minefield, and we forgot where we put them. So just saying.
Yeah. So we'll try our best, but I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna be spoiling it because it was such a good movie. So let's get right into it. Review thoughts. You want to give a quick synopsis of the movie?
Yeah, so this movie kicks off 2 years after the end of Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny. There is a new peacekeeping organization known as Compass that's being run by Lacus Klein, or in this movie they did change the name, so her name is now Lecluse Klein. And with their head front pilots, ace top bomb pilots, Kira Yamato in the original series, Shin, Asuka, Luna Maria Hawk, and Stella, I think it's Bernstein is her last name, or Elstein. Yep. So they're now essentially a peacekeeping organization, trying to keep the peace between the plants, which is the spacebound Zaft organization, and the Earth people, particularly what is it, the Earth organization, Oni Enforcer, remember correctly? So yeah, and they're just going around trying to keep peace. There's still battles going on, clearly. There are still some plants like factions that live on the planet. They're kind of in peace, kind of not. And then there's Blue Cosmos, of course, being around, just being a-holes as usual. Just going around trying to cause trouble. And essentially it picks up the journeys of this crew trying to essentially keep peace around the world. But there is now a mysterious new nation that's popped up that has
literally out of nowhere
been able to, within 2 years, turn a whole nation around due to some type of government, its government leader, and the way in which they run things, which looks very pretty and very well made on the surface, but underneath holds some questionable values and maybe even some sinister thoughts that kind of build onto a main story of that. And we also get some more secret reveals that that this new nation has some secrets that are
some dirty laundry
that comes to light with an alternative goal that's very sinister. But yeah, no, that's essentially the movie. And it's like I said, it's just pretty much, if you've seen Mobile Suit Gundam Seed and Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny, this is more Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. So There you
go. Your initial thoughts as you're watching the movie. Like, I know personally, I was sitting there, I took Chloe to the movies, and she's getting into Gundam, and she thought it was interesting, but like I could sit there and like I was genuinely just smiling ear to ear, just like this is definitely a Seed movie. Like,
Yeah.
start to finish, Seed movie. But I think it was done really well. Honestly, like, I don't know about your theater. Was yours packed?
No, ours was about halfway.
So ours was packed, and everything I thought was funny, the entire theater thought was funny. So every cut scene where they'd cut to someone looking away, like a telenovela, or what's those shows that come on in the mornings?
Soap operas.
Like, it was the epitome of that, and I cracked the hell up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and there's one scene where Shin grabs onto something, and somebody looks at him, and it cuts away quick, and that's what our theater was like. That was good. That was a good one. But yeah, no, man. Quick question for you: before the movie started, did you guys have the director?
Yeah.
Did you get the sense that he seemed like the most tired man on the planet?
Yeah.
Bro,
like they caught him at the end of the end of the whole thing, and he was like, I'm trying to get home, and you guys are asking me these questions at 11 o'clock.
Bro, he's sitting there with droopy eyes and just wearing a strict G Gundam jacket that doesn't fit, and he's just answering questions he doesn't want to answer.
Like, bro, what? And then they weren't even super drawn out questions. Like, he was just like, yeah, this was the toughest part.
Yeah, I love that question where they said, what was the hardest part of making this movie? And he literally just looked tired and said, well, all of it.
I felt it.
Like, at first I was like, oh no, maybe this isn't going to be good, because I was getting kind of a bad sense, like maybe the director didn't even like the movie. But then the movie started, and I got to say, within the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm this is good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like this.
That 7-minute clip they dropped online didn't even do that whole scene.
Yeah.
Justice, but they didn't even do it justice. Like, oh my god. Early thoughts of the destroy. Was that the Destroy Gundam? That
was the Destroy Gundam. Yeah. So that first battle. So the opening scene of the movie, we drop into this. Was it Blue Cosmos invading a Zaf Plants enclave nation, or like a small little piece of land that was given to them on Earth. And the Compass is launched out. We see kind of the character dynamic build from there. We see Kira is the leader, squadron leader of all the mobile suits going out to fly. Lacus is essentially the diplomat advisor, but Romulus, Maru Rom, she comes back. She's the captain of the Archangel, but they don't launch from the Archangel. They are launch from the Eternal, I think, or I forgot what it's called. Exactly.
What's the name? Yeah,
it's the Ergum, I don't know. They launched from a new ship that we haven't really seen yet.
How they shot out of the cannon, into space, and how they dropped down. Where is it? The Gelgug Menace with the super huge calf muscle rocket launchers on there. I love that kid, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And I have to say, the music was top tier, especially in the opening scene. The music, it was great. Now that opening fight scene, I thought the CGI was going to be a problem for me. And the thing was, actually, it wasn't the CGI. I thought the CGI actually looked pretty good, and they mix and blend 2D art in with the CGI. This tells you pretty much that the movie's going to look like this when it comes to fight scenes. You're like, oh, okay, this is actually going to be pretty good. The only issue I had with the fight scenes, honestly, were that they were awfully fast sometimes when they did slashes. And watching on a larger movie screen, it's kind of hard for your head to keep tracking. Whoa, that already got cut.
Right.
Oh, and then Kira turns up the heat and just starts running through dudes. So then you're just trying to keep up.
The transition though was pretty seamless, and I believe the director even talked about it. That was probably one of the harder parts, was getting the CGI to mix with the classic hand drawn. I was like, yo, this like you were saying, the transition was hard to follow, but I think it was all kind of mapped out super well. I know I was on the edge of my seat like this, watching Kira slash through all those grunt suits. I feel like Chloe tapped me and was like, "Can you sit back?" I'm like, "Oh my bad." Just that first 10 minutes of the movie, there was so much action. The Destroy Gundam looked awesome, but it went down just as big as it came into the series. Like, it didn't have much of a lasting effect on me. It looked cool shooting all those beams. They made quick work of it.
Oh yeah, they were, and then another one shows up, and that one got wrecked too.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out and the one later, in maybe 20-30 minutes later, it was was that the same one? Because it was beat up.
Yeah, and I think it was this. I think if I remember correctly, the scene opened up with two of them, but like one was in the far background that they just weren't using yet, or something like that. When they showed like the picture of the assembly of the suits, so maybe
Mhm.
that was it. But or maybe that was just stashed away, getting repaired, or getting ready for attack on somewhere else. So yeah, whoever was piloting that though, they would have had better chance with just running around with a stick.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too because I was watching it. Kira, nothing was like a killing blow. He was just chopping off limbs. So I definitely like. At first, I was like, "Oh, he's killing all these guys." And I was like, "Wait, like he's just disabling them."
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty dope too of him to like still be able to put down 10 suits without having to kill anyone. Kira's still
True.
like the peaceful, caring, loving guy as he is. Oh, Kira.
And that's essentially just a huge callback to Seed when he gets the original freedom, and he just he starts shooting, but he doesn't kill anybody.
Right.
But I guess they kind of threw that in too after, like, later when he does start killing people, and he's like pacifism, and that meme of all the lasers going out.
Pacifism. What did you think of the character designs of the girls? I feel like
The lips.
yeah, that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, wait.
So I actually got over it pretty quickly. I think it was because since all of them had it, my mind kind of just kicked it out. Because I remember when I watched the trailer, it was just Lacus or Lacus who had them, and I'm just like, that's really distracting, because I kept thinking of the old art and her face now. But when they all have it and every single one of them, it just kind of like your brain just kind of melds it away, because it's just like, well, that's just female faces. And it's something people were asking for. People were afraid tired of the same face syndrome. This particular artist, I forgot his name unfortunately, but the character designer who was in charge of the art, he has same face drawing style. So literally males and females have the same face and they look the same. That's why his males look so pretty and his females look strong. So he probably added the lips just so they can have some distinction between the two. Now the in-universe explanation was that Lacus apparently started wearing lipstick, and all the other girls wanted to start wearing lipstick too, so they all just started wearing lipstick. That's like the in-universe kind of fan explanation, but it goes with that, I guess.
And then during that scene, we do get introduced to a new character. I believe her name is Agnes. 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 What'd you think of her?
So her entire arc, I can understand how some people may not like it, because her arc is just, I'm this way until I don't get what I want, and now I'm this way, and now I'm a bad guy. So spoiler. And there's even some lore about her being in the academy with Shin and stuff like that, and how she was the better pilot, and how she comes over to Compass. I thought her character was
I thought she was unnecessary. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I honestly, I threw her away. Like every time her fight scene came up, I just kind of like, I don't care. You're just here to fill time and to
literally. I think if you subtract her out of the story, it still would have flowed. Like there would have been no difference.
There would have been zero difference.
I don't know why they put her in there. I love the Gien, love it, but I just didn't. I don't think we needed her. Maybe she was in there to cause a rift between
Shin and Luna Maria. Yeah. But that was the goal, I guess. But I mean, I think halfway through they just realized, that ain't gonna happen. Fact. Shin's too oblivious to even recognize when one chick's in love with them. He can't see two. So
Shin isn't, when he's not in a suit, boy, he's lost. He's lost in the sauce.
Now I will say this movie did redeem Shin Asuka. For those who aren't aware, most of Gundam Seed Destiny, Shin Asuka is the main character. He has kind of a reputation of being not very good, and kind of wishy-washy on good bad. But in this movie, guys, he redeems himself fully. He actually, at the end of this, I was like, I actually like this character. And that's one thing I can say about this movie. This movie got me to like characters I usually have just kind of tossed away or didn't really care too much about. And also bigger, maybe actually got me to like mobile suits that I originally didn't like.
Ooh,
I'm actually not a fan of the Strike Freedom. The Strike Freedom comes into this and I actually like it. And not even the new backpack that they slap on it. I actually like it when it's just fighting and losing to the cavalry. It looks cool. Like it's giving it its all. I was not a fan of the Dagger L, and this one the Dagger L's are dying everywhere, but I actually kind of like it. In the original series, I'm not a fan of the Gian out of the Universal Century, which is the original Gundam series. And this, the Gian Storm,
Hey,
I like it. I was like, okay. And then what was the Destiny? I was not a fan of the Destiny Gundam. I thought that it was just it's let's take every bit of the strike that worked, all those Packers, and throw it on them at one time. And didn't really look that good. But in this, it looked really good. I was like, okay, I kind of like the Destiny. This movie is kind of a redemption of everything that Seed kind of deserves and should be kind of better. It nails on the head. The people in the writing room and in the directing room knew exactly what they're doing. They're making this for Seed fans purely, exactly that, and they were just like, we're not going to try and bring anybody else in with this series. We're just going to make it for Seed fans, and it worked.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you like Seed, you're going to like this movie. If you don't like Seed, you might like the action.
Yeah,
but I don't think you'll like anything else. That's why I was saying, like in the beginning, I don't think Coop. We know Coop. We know Coop likes. I just don't see brother getting through this one and like thinking he's going to say first it's better than narrative. We'll get to that. That's the first thing out of his mouth.
Yeah. That's the first thing. And then Endless Waltz.
Yes, it's better than Endless Waltz.
And I actually had a conversation. I kept telling him, don't go see it.
Yeah.
This is a great movie. Don't go see it. I know you are not a Siege fan. This is not going to be up your alley. And
so it makes even more sense.
Cool. Even the app should know.
Yeah. It makes sense why we're doing this then. So we got to that first 10 minutes of the scene. We see some strife going on between the relationship of Kira and Lacus.
Lacus. Guys, we're going to stick to we are going to stick to the regular names. Just a little tidbit. In the movies, they switched to the I guess it was the remaster names.
Yes,
which is
remastered.
Yeah, guys, we are sticking to the OG names. That's what we grew up on. We know that. I'm sorry, CD. Continue.
Yes. So we get that scene. We get the little strife between them and their relationship, trying to work on being there for each other. And then we pick up and we go off to this new blossoming group continents that Austen was talking about that just kind of popped up out of nowhere. And we see this weird connection between Lacus and I want to say the antagonist, who's also a coordinator. They kind of touch hands and they do this spiraling motion, looking into each other's eyes. I watched Interstellar last night again too. That's what I felt like. But yeah, they like stare into each other's eyes, and he's like, "You're the one for me," and she's like, and Kira's in the back like, "Yo, what's going on over here?"
He was like, "What?" And Kira, and just to add to the point, yeah, Kira has been having a lot of stress being put on him because he's realizing that as much as his peacekeeping force is doing, war is still happening. Everyone's still fighting, and he's like, people are there, and he the one thing he wants to give Lacus is peace on Earth, and he's starting to realize that the Destiny plan, which was in the original Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny, which is a plan that was originally designed where nobody would have any choice in what they do, like their fate is decided as when they're born, and that would cause peace because there wouldn't be, you're not a soldier, you're a worker, you're not this, you're not that. No one has any freedom.
It reminds me of like a caste system.
A caste system essentially. So we get hit with that tidbit. But yeah, you're right. When they get to that new nation that wants independence and ask Compass for help, and help in taking down Blue Cosmos, because Blue Cosmos is considered a terrorist organization in this one, I believe. Yeah. So try to capture Lear and take him down. They move in, and they hold those hands, and all of a sudden, I been have the time of my life,
right?
And it's all up to you.
And that's when you get the first telenovela soap opera, like Kira in the back, like just looking off, like I'm like, oh, dog, say it ain't so already. And then we get introduced to the bumbling cast of the Black Knights. What was your first impression of the Power Rangers? I'll never call them the Power Rangers.
The most obvious evil group. One of them has a mask, reading a book in the valley, and I was like, well, if he doesn't get a girl who's interested in the next 5 seconds of the screen, he's obviously evil. And he was like, What a drag. Oh yeah, he's evil. This guy's evil. And I looked at all of them. I was like, we don't even need like any suspense. These guys are bad guys. Every last one of them. I believe. And the crazy thing is, I don't know their names.
Yeah, I'm
I don't
gonna
think.
pull them up right here for you.
Yeah, their names were said like once, and their names don't even do. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Griffin. Harper, his last name is Harper. Yeah, guys, you don't need
Daniel Harper. No way. No.
Nah.
Griffin, no. Lou. We get as soon as they touch down in this foreign nation, these are also like they're not coordinators, they're like above coordinators. What are they called? I'm like a super coordinator.
Yeah, like projects of ultimate coordinators. They're so powerful they can even have telepathic like powers. They can read people's minds or even disorient people with their powers.
So Kira kind of feels that, like he has like that new type coordinator moment where he's like oh, someone's plotting on me, and of course you're gonna see these guys and be like, all right, there's trouble. Like clearly, like you said, the dude with the mask, Daniel Harper, he sounds like that sounds like a nice name, but you look at him like what?
Yeah,
creepy as hell.
Yeah, and what Serpentin, who's literally, his name is Serpent. He's literally Snake. His name is Snake. Yeah, so that's he's probably after the main antagonist, he's probably the other more intriguing antagonist because he's the actual one fighting in the suit for the majority of the time. And then the blue haired chick, Ingrid, she's more important than all of them really. Her arc with Orphe is pretty much the only real arc that these antagonists get.
Yes.
All the rest are just cannon fodder. And the small child was
she like
I know they never explained in the movie. Spoilers, everybody. Apparently she's like a 40, 50 year
she's like
old
a grown woman.
But I don't know if the grown woman cloned herself.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Which, if they did that, then this movie shares. Now, this may be reason we may get Coop into it. This movie is strikingly, weirdly similar to Endless Waltz. Both have small female girl antagonists.
Right.
Both have your princess is captured and I'm taking her to my castle. That both have heroes who have to get in their old suits and mobilize to go fight the evil. Both have a giant ass blast ray gun that blows up the fortress. Both have both and I was thinking about this. I was like, this is kind of has some Endless Waltz fights in it.
Okay.
This might get Cooper in there.
Yeah, if we play it like that, we might be able to convince him.
No, we won't.
Yeah. I was gonna say so he's not gonna watch it still. But yeah, those are the Black Knights. The character designs, they looked cool, but they were all, like you said, cannon fodder. Like they probably had like 6 lines.
Yep.
Like they really didn't talk much. They were introduced as super strong though. There's like a scene in the courtyard where they're like sword fighting, and they like all seem like they're badass. And of course, Shin gets up there trying to show out and gets lost.
Yeah, and Shin, honestly, in this is another reason why he's a good character. In this one, he is trying to live up to an expectation of being just as good as Kira, not out of envy or anything like that. He just wants to help.
Right.
And every chance he gets a chance to help, he tries and helps. The problem is he just fails, or they just doesn't seem to trust him.
Nope.
And but he doesn't give up. That's the thing where Shin redeems himself.
Yes,
but I'm sorry, continue.
No, same. I kind of love like how he looks like Kira is like kind of like a big brother. He's like, I have to show up for my big brother. Like no one else is gonna stand up for him. I'm gonna stand up for him. He says like, nah, Captain, I got it. And like I like that energy. And even though he loses, and Agnes like is in his ear like, haha, loser,
yapping at him.
Like I'm like, at least he got up there and defended him. So
at least he tried. All the rest of y'all did nothing.
That's it. And then Ingrid, like you said, she probably has one of the bigger important parts of the story. I always thought it was funny because she had 3 or 4 scenes where she was like off behind a tree, like just staring off, looking at Orphe, just
just crying and rocking, like literally the most soap opera romance dramas, shoujo,
time. And I laughed, but I loved it. It was so Seed. So I think like the directors really were like, all right, we are going to make a Seed movie for these Seed fans. Like you said, this is all the way through a Seed movie, and like just those little parts, the theater cracked up. We all felt it. 'Cause I could tell when I walked in the theater, everyone had Gundam merch on, Seed stuff. Like I had my little Seed lanyard. Chloe had her Gundam shirt, so I could tell like these people weren't just here for it. They were like really Seed fans. So the director really like made sure to like put all those little tablets in there.
And the original Mobile Suit Gundam Seed was not written by traditional Mobile Suit Gundam writers. They were written by literally one person who wrote K-drama, another person who wrote J-drama, and another person who was related to the other person who wrote K-drama too. So it's literally a soap opera team. And they just said, well, what if we just make more of that? Because clearly Seed worked. It was the second most successful Mobile Suit Gundam ever. So we'll just do that and stick to it. And there you go.
Perfect. I mean, why is the highest grossing movie? I feel like it might be the highest grossing Gundam movie now.
That's a good question. It was 2.1 billion yen, which equals somewhere around to $300 million in the box office, which for a Japanese movie, right? A movie that's released in Japan, where Japan barely ever goes to the movie theater in anyway, right? That's pretty insane. And if it had a wider release with multiple showings worldwide, I feel like it could have got to 500 million yen or 2.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that it gave us 2 days. We got a sub day and then one sub day at one time, and then one dub day at one. Did you guys have more than 2 showings? Like we had 2 7 o'clocks.
I think it was Southern America, like Florida, whatnot. I think there was one where it had 2 dub days, or that, but I could be wrong. But yeah, no, it was it was just weird having one launch. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what, U.S. Theaters, they don't take as high of a cut as people think, but it's larger than what Japan theaters take. So that's probably the reason why they couldn't afford the distribution of it. But yeah, no. So in the story, like I said, back to the story, they had this sword fight, and they decided to have I believe it was the dance, right?
The big ball after
the big ball. Lacus gets the guy Tao or Orphe asks for Lacus once again. She takes her hand, she goes to the dream state, and they go for a walk. And Kira's on the little what is it, the little
like balcony
overlooking them, and sees like them getting closer and closer, and he's just sad and kind of accepts it, like, because he's like, once again, I can't give her what she wants, which is peace in the world, and this guy's saying that he can. So he accepts it and walks away, and more telenovela happens. But Lacus pulls back. Lacus, her faith in Kira just remains strong. And that's when we get Agnes trying to hit on Kira because she just wants someone to love her.
That's it.
Because nobody does, not even the audience.
No. And then Lacus comes up and overhears a conversation. Her telling him, like, you're fighting a war that you don't even understand why you're fighting it. She just has you doing this, that, and like, I feel like she kind of gets in Kira's head to Lacus, but Kira's like, nah, I'm good, like I'm rocking with her. And Lacus overhears it and sprints off, and I'm like, oh, here's another one. Here's another moment. And then Kira chases after him, but meets Orphe like in on the way there, and Orphe gives him like you can't give her what she wants. I can give her what she wants. And you just start cracking up. You're like, this is more Seed. This is Seed. This is Gundam Seed all day, baby. This is literally Seed. That's the entire Seed, like the whole seasons. They just put it in there for us.
And that's another thing I'll say about this movie, is that the pacing is incredibly fast. That's why I would also warn people, if you aren't Seed fans, if you don't have at least somewhat of a comparative knowledge of Seed, you're going to feel like this movie's going a mile a minute.
Yes.
Now the good news is, every time they introduce a new scene, they leave a little distinction at the bottom of it, telling you exactly where they are, exactly what this place is, and the scene opens up with someone calling the person's name in the scene. So the movie knows the movie knows it's hustling. It is trying to get to that action scene that we all want. It knows it, so it's trying to hustle. It's trying to keep you there. Trust me, you're in for a very quick paced boom
2 hours. It was almost 2 hours.
It's almost 2 hours, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but man, it's they honestly, at the pace they're moving, they could have used 3, because there are some emotional points, like especially with the scene where, like we just talked about, where actually if they dragged out the scene a little bit longer, right, just give it maybe a minute, maybe a 2 minute to breathe,
just a little more dialogue for sure.
Yeah, to really hit home emotionally, I think a movie would do even better. But like I said, this is Gundam Seed. We got no time for that. We straight to the dramatics and then straight to the fighting. That's Gundam Seed. Dramatics and fightings. Yes,
Dramatic fighting
exactly.
and gorgeous mobile suits, because we're gonna get to that
Gorgeous.
soon. We're almost to some fighting. So after this passes, we're on to the next day, and there's the joint operation. Kira, Athrun, Ludamita, they're all ready to go do this operation, and these super coordinators have some telepathic ability. Did this ever happen in Seed before?
So man, I can't remember in the original series if this happened. I don't believe it did. There are new types in the original series, but new types and coordinators and Seed Factor are actually two different things.
Right.
For example, Mula Flaga and Rala Crusade are new types, but that's the only reason why is because they're related. So somehow they're able to sense each other. So technically there's a new type in there, but it's the coordinators are totally different, and Seed's version of true new types, and then you have just related new types, something like that. So I don't know, Seed shenanigans, but
literally shenanigans.
Yeah, I do not believe they had the powers like this in the last series now.
Yeah, so I thought that was wild that they just kind of like spun that on us, because they just kind of like brainwashes Kira to think that this enemy's over here, and they cause Kira to cross these enemy lines. Yeah, they've already decided, hey, like, truce, but if you cross this line, we got smoke. And they convince Kira to cross this line, and it starts an all-out war. They launch nukes on their own nation.
Yeah. There's nukes flying. They trick Lacus into betraying, or get her voice line to make it sound like she's betraying. It's a whole. You figure out quickly it's a trap. It's literally it's a trap. Right? It's
cut the communication.
Just,
you can't hear anything. No one knows what's going on.
Shoot, and everybody gets messed up. They're just everyone doesn't know what's going on. People are getting slashed. Everyone's coming, and just what the Archangel takes its final bow. It's crazy.
Everything. I have never seen suits like the night suits. The Power Rangers, like those shits were OD. So they couldn't take any. They only take physical attacks.
Yeah, so they have a new type of armor that deflects beam rifle armor, and it's more of a short layered EMP field that rays around them. I believe this is inspired off of the IBO suits that have beam protection. So now if you have PS armor and you have beam protection armor, you're essentially impervious, because PS armor stops physical attacks. But the way they nullify it is they say with this new armor they have, they don't have phase shift. So they're very impervious to physical attacks. So they're going around causing havoc. Our Black TriStar squad ends up becoming the one TriStar or the one star squad.
Yes.
And then it looks like Kira is getting ganged up. The Justice Shin goes to help, but he gets destroyed. Lumeria has to hang back with the older ship and try to destroy the nuke.
Yeah, she's literally sniping nukes.
Yeah, which once again, Lumeria Hawk is still proving herself as the best female pilot.
Right, by far though. Like, oh my god, I forgot how good she is, because I was like, god damn.
I love her line, dude, when they say, "Hey, you can't get the last one." She said, and she pulls the. By the way, everybody, this is also kind of just this director loves Star Wars. The actual person who loves Seed actually loves Star Wars. And she has the line, "Don't ever tell me the odds." And she goes off and flies out, tries to snipe the nuke. And I was like, God dang! Even one of the backpacks that in a suit that's about to come up, we're going to talk about, is an X-wing suit. So literally, it's actually in X-wing, and the director even said he loves X-wing. So that
was one of the craziest moments, even for Chloe, when he drops the nuke and it's like a girl and her mom, and you literally see them
burn. Dude, ignite. All right, so that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people die, like a lot,
like continents of worth of people, bro.
We're talking about like statistical, looking back in history, seeing a dip in the birth rate type of die, like population rate. Like it's
so there's those going on. There's like suicide bombers at the border blowing stuff up to like make it seem like there's a commotion. Like there's just, like Austin was saying, there's literal haywire going on, and no one can figure out what's going on, because the Black Knights have had this whole thing planned out. You can tell them, like, it was to the T, and like we're leaving no witnesses.
Yeah,
and Kira is literally on his deathbed. Jesus, Yamato is done for. I'm like, he's not coming back from this. But who comes to save the day?
My boy
out of the cuts. And it's crazy because we see him earlier in the movie, and he's kind of like in some incognito with some sunglasses on in the slums, like looking around the corner. I'm like, what is Athrun doing down there, bro? Like, what?
Like gathering information because he's figuring out that this nation ain't always cracked up to be very
Right.
pretty on the surface, but you look just a little bit down in the corner in the little, in the ghettos part.
Exactly. That's where he was.
Yeah,
He
man.
found the truth, and he comes out of nowhere with the most oddest creation of his suits. I'll have to bring the picture, but Austin, go ahead and talk about that. So just
it's so Mobile Suit Gundam Seed was originally created as kind of the 2000s remake of the original Mobile Suit Gundam. So they take a lot of classic UC suits from the Universal Century. They have Zaku's, they have Galgoogs, they have Goose. They take another old Xeon suit, a beloved one, and it actually is pretty dope. They even like do a G Gundam stance, and that suit, ladies and gentlemen, is the Zagak. That's right, the amphibious suit famously powered by Char in the attack on what was the base in the OC series? One of the bases.
Oh yeah.
With
Spear in the GM. I forgot what it is.
So they have the Z Zagak, or just to call it Zagak or Gok. But no, it is actually, I actually liked it. I'm not a fan of this suit in other series, and this is what I'm talking about. Most of Gundam Seed can make me like a suit because their fight scenes are so fun, dynamic, and cool.
This was the last thing I expected too.
Right? It goes toe to toe with one of the Black Knights, and it holds its own. And the Black Knight pilot's like, dude, this dude is good.
Why do you think that? Because Kira's supposed to be the top pilot, but he struggled. Was it something?
I think he was still under. Yeah, he was still under
brain fog or something.
Yeah, brain fog. He was still delirious, trying to figure out what's going on. And Athrun wanted there not to play games. He knew the assignment and achieved it. But yeah, no, he comes in and his fight scene is pretty cool with the Zagak. It made the Zagak look cool, and it has a new unit that this is a new unit that's brought in here that apparently mobile suits can link to this AWAC unit or AWACS type of thing.
Yeah,
that will fly with other personnel in it, and they rescued all the people from the Archangel. Spoilers, everyone. We should have said spoilers a long time ago. Forget it, guys. We're doing spoilers. Yeah, the Archangel bites the dust. It's completely destroyed. Maru is almost dead, but Mu comes in, saves her, and the rest of the crew is saved by this Zagak. But yeah, no, this Zagak's dope. I love this. I love this. I can't wait for the high grade.
Can't wait. And the fact that they gave us a little tease of what's under the feet of this Zagak, I was like, okay, like
yeah. They know.
Yeah, so I was not expecting this. I mean, we got the images first. You know, we knew this was coming, but like I thought this was just hilarious that he came out with this, and then he has that beam saber on top of the head too, out of the Zagak. I'm like, bro, what? So,
right?
that was wild because everyone gets wiped out. You know, the Black Knights take off and fly into space, kidnap the princess.
Yep, kidnap Lacus,
and everything is just like.
And their plan is revealed that the plan is now to get everyone to believe that Lacus is actually siding with them and disavowed Compass. And you find out that Orphe was originally created for Lacus, and Lacus was originally created for him.
Right.
They were meant to usher in the world to a new era with those two. So he's just trying to enact his plan, which will, define his place in the universe. This is his job. This is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do it. And that essentially kicks off that the first half of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the second half, it's all action. It's all gas, no brakes. And we get some characters coming back that we all loved. Let me go and pull our character list up here.
Bro, and you know what? It has that little bit of depressed Kira, Athrun there to shake him out of it.
Oh, we got to talk about that real quick. Athrun beat his ass.
And do you know what's great? It was Kira like coming to terms with, everyone calls him Jesus Yamato for always being able to do everything, always being able to save everyone, always. And what you realize in this movie is that was actually getting to him.
Yeah,
it
was weighing on him.
Like, yeah, he's like well, I could always do everything, and now I just right, and I can't do everything. And the whole lesson that trying to teach him is you needed to learn to depend on other people.
Yes,
you need to stop being Jesus Yamato and come back down to earth.
His ass.
And Shin tries to get into
him. Yeah, and they get his ass beat too. They're like, hey, like these are what friends are for. Like, you got to let them settle this. And Kira really needed that because he was like, forget it. Like, this is, I can't save her. I can't do anything. I can't I can't do this. And Arthur was like, well, if you don't, and knocked some sense into him. And Kira really needed it because he's never had that. He's like you said, he's always just been Jesus Kiriyamato. He's always been able to figure it out, solve the situation. For once, he couldn't.
And in the dub, it's great because he says, me, 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 me. That's all I hear from you. And he punches Kira in the face.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah.
Right. And this is why people like I mess with Arthur is probably one of my favorite characters. Like I liked him more than Kira. And I'm glad that we finally got to see them like go to blows. You can feel this is some tension from some other shit too. Like,
dude. So I'll tell people this: Arthur and Zala and Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender have two of the best characters because they go through an entire 180
full
character arc.
Yep.
Their character arcs are massive, and they came out around the same time too, which is cool. The character of being the guy, then the bad guy, but doesn't realize it. He's just doing his job. Coming to realization who he is, and then turning. Atherin's a great character, and he gets, in my opinion, the best girl. So
we'll get there too, because she has some more scenes coming up now as we speak too. But yeah, we get Diarca to come back. I love the Nziak, Buster Gundam
duel,
and I like that they paid homage to the Blitz Gundam and gave him like his attachment to him because that was his best friend.
Yep.
So that was lit, but it was cool to see those guys back. We get more Kigali. She pulls out that Strike Rouge.
And in the second half of the movie, apparently there was a coup that was attempted in the Zaft, and a small contingent of people take over a bit of the Zaft military and the Earth Federation. Which, you know what? I thought the Earth Federation was going to be a-holes in this one. They were not.
No,
they actually were. They were actually going up to try and help Orb.
Yeah.
So further in the movie, we figure out that there's a giant Death Star laser because there's always one in Seed.
Always threatening to blow everybody up with it. Of course,
if they don't follow the Destiny plan, and you're just like, okay, so this is just they decided to rewrite the end of Mobile Suit Gundam Destiny, but do it better, to fix the problems. And now this Death Star laser is being pointed at them and saying, hey, if you don't follow Destiny plan, everyone's gonna die. And that's when the team gets together and makes a plan. We got to go up there and fight the bad guys. And ever since then, guys, the movie just action. It'll be pointless to tell you every little bit detail because the action scenes are just
it's smoke. All I say is before they get up there, they're like, we don't got no suits. And what did they pull out, Austen?
Dude, I love that.
These suits for everyone. It's like this. Every time in the movie with like John Wick or something, they open up that gun cabinet. That's what I felt like when they opened up the base for the Gundams. I said, is that the Freedom? Is that the Destiny? Oh my God.
If you are fans of Top Gun and they open the hangar and they see the F-14, the last F-14, like the single one there, or if you're a fan of like any of those movies where they just open, you see the last old OG thing from the old series you love. It was like a nostalgia beat, and I love how all the characters too, when they saw them, they're like, "Yo!" It was like, and I love they don't call it the Strike Freedom. Kira says the Freedom 2, which was the original name, and I was like, "Look at that!" And they updated the cockpits, so all the cockpits. She said it. She said we kept them for research development. We updated all the cockpits. They're all ready to go. And you hear the music. Oh, the music! The
score.
We
haven't talked about the soundtrack. It was,
dude. We're gushing, everybody. I'm sorry. We're
excuse me, but yeah, back to that. Like Austin said, there's so much. Can't even talk about it, but it's action. They end up still in Kigali, or not Kigali. They end up still in Lack is back. There's another couple dramatic scenes in there. Then we get to that final last battle where everyone's fighting. What did you think about Luna Maria in the Impulse?
The fight scene wasn't really all that necessary because she was just kind of tip for tap going against Agnes. It's strange because I was looking at everyone else. Everyone else is like either taking down suits or getting major damage or getting hit, right? And Agnes and Luna Maria are just having a kind of just a cat fight. Yeah, literally a slap fight, right? And even where Luna Maria is just using her Vulcan, like in the chest, they're just ping, 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 ping. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? Bruh. Right?
I was like, what is going on? Because you have Shin over here fighting the entire Black Knight team by himself in his Spec 2 Destiny going crazy. And then Luna Maria has all these she has Impulse Spec 2, she gets the sword Impulse, which I was like, when the phase shift turned red, I was like, oh, this P Bandai?
Yep. Bandai.
Where's
the
the
wallet? Dun, 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 dun.
like? I need 3. That shit was
Shoot.
crazy. And I know you like the blast impulse. I kind of like that colorway too. It's like a muted green with the blue. I'm
Mhm.
sure we'll get that too. So,
Mhm.
just Gundams alone, like they were throwing left, right at us. Different variants of the Gion, different Gelgoog. There was different variants of the Gelgoog minutes, different
Yep.
colorways. Oh
and,
my god!
and in the fight scene, they used the OG music for both Destiny and for Seed at the exact moment when they launched. Oh my god, dude! Everybody lost it. Right when you hear dun 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 dun
Yes,
dun
the launch
and I
scene.
was like, ah! Everyone is losing it.
That's
bro.
my favorite part.
Man, they knew what they were doing. Like I said, this is for Seed fans. That music is holds some weight, and Seed Destiny music and Seed music were great. Everybody, I think that's the one thing people even back then said that they liked about the series. Even if people didn't like the show, they said the scores were amazing. And once again, in this, held up true. Not a problem there. But yeah, the fight scenes are going on. Everybody's going mad. The princess is rescued and she gets a new pack. Kira's mobile suit now is, I mean, he literally becomes Jesus.
Bro, what was when she got on there and they like did something? He like sliced the whole thing in half. I'm like,
the Dantrimian beam,
yes.
the Trimian beam. Yeah, so that's a new weapon. Dude,
okay.
it's so powerful. It cuts an asteroid in half. So I mean, at that point, just keep using that.
Yes. Why do you don't even need anything else? I will say that the Black Knight, the main Black Knight. I don't know if I'm gonna picture that suit. That one was actually pretty dope.
Oh, the Cavalry.
Yeah.
The white and gold one, or the other?
The Shiva, I believe, is what it's called.
Oh, the Shiva. Yeah. The main head guy. Yeah. That was actually pretty dope. Yeah.
So this guy with the horns, the serpent, he was holding his own. He was actually like probably the best fighter of the group.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked this suit in action was dope. I thought like the capes would have like some ability, but they were literally just capes, which was like that's so Seed.
Hey man, that's Seed. It's flare, man. It's just flare.
I thought it was gonna be like a shield, like he'd be able to like wrap it around. No,
it's just flare.
That shit was just like this, even in space. So the last fight scene, everyone's fighting. We got to see a new kind of like mobile armor, which I'll bring up some pictures later.
There's classic like OG lines. Mulaflaga says his famous line, the impossible. He's like making the impossible possible. Everybody's going in there, it's doing their classic lines. It's a love letter. It's a love letter to us. That's what it is.
No, literally, like every bit was like, okay, this is a recall from this. This is a recall from this. This is a recall from this. Loved it. So save the day. We get to see the new backpack for the
Zeus.
Yeah.
The Freedom's new backpack.
Freedom's backpack.
Mighty Strike Freedom.
Yeah, I didn't care for this.
Me either.
Sword. I don't know where that even came from. The Astray sword, like.
Yeah, they gave it a Astray katana, and I was just like, well, I guess physical attacks is the one way you can beat it, but also those ship beam swords that they were using, they were getting the job done.
Yeah,
and, right. And the Destiny literally grabbed one and blew it away with his hand. So I was like, I think they're doing all right without it. But hey, it's Seed.
Yeah. Then we even got some Atherin fight. Like he broke down his Zagok.
Yep.
And what was inside of that, Austen? I don't know how.
The Destiny, or Destiny Infinite Destiny.
Yeah, with the X-Wing backpack.
X-Wing backpack and beam sabers for days. Everything was a beam saber. Your fingers were beam sabers. The horn was a beam saber. Everything, and it was great. I when that happened, people were cheering in the theater, dude. People were like, even though our people was only halfway, people were cheering. I'm sorry, yeah, Justice Gundam Type 2. I'm sorry, not Infant's Justice. It was the Justice Gundam Type 2, which, once again, I was not a fan of all the other Justice Gundams except for the original Justice. This I actually like. It
grew on you, right?
Yeah, this one grew on me pretty quick too, and I was like, I kind of like this. So I'm waiting for that master grade of this, and this is definitely gonna be a pickup. Right. But yeah, man, it that pops out. And you figure out real quick that Atherton and this other guy's going toe to toe, and he's like, man, this guy's movements, I'm trying to read his mind, but like, it doesn't seem like, wait, let me try to read it again, and all you get is a little bit of fan service, which everybody will say this too. Yes, there is fan service in the movie. That was a thing people were digging up, like there wasn't fan service in the original show.
Right, come on.
That confused me. There's literally boobs in the opening, but anyway.
Chloe was crying because I know when Lacus got in her like suit, and there was like a certain shot.
There was a cutscene.
Chloe was like, she got a yacht. I said, yeah, it's fan service. Yeah, fan service.
It's fan service. But it was crazy. It's like it was there before too.
It's been like, yeah. It's every. That's why they all look like the way they are. I mean, there's like a scene when they land in the other relation, and there's like I forgot who's standing there, but there's like her skirt, like it's literally like an upshot of her skirt. I'm like,
yeah. They're like, let's get they're like, all right, we gotta throw it in there.
So that's the end of the movie. Pretty much save the day. They ride off. Everyone like hugs, and they end up on a beach.
It's implied that that Kira and Lacus are now one. And so that's the movie. That's
the movie. That's a spoiler. There's more stuff in between, but like that's the movie in itself. Watch it if you can. It's not on the 7 Seas. You actually have to spend the money to go see it or buy it. I don't know if they're gonna have any more show times, but November is what I hear. So
it just wrapped up showing in Japan. It just had its last showing, so it's now officially over. I'm sad.
Damn.
Yeah.
So on to our favorite moments. What would you say your favorite moment of
the last fight scene when they played the theme music of all the shows as the main suits from those shows were launching, and they played their theme music? It got me. It literally I almost like, and I know it's kind of weird saying it, but I almost kind of teared up because it had such a wave of nostalgia of the one Gundam series besides Wing that I literally raced home every day to hear that music and to watch the Freedom launch, right? And I was just like, it's all back.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, Gundam Wing is what got me into the stuff behind me. Gundam Unicorn is like what kind of brought me back after a while. Gundam Seed was like the middle years for me. Like you might see a lot of UC, but a lot of stuff I built between like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade was all Seed stuff. Yep. So like Seed was like really it for me. So this like as soon as I finished it, I was like, I want to go back and rewatch it now.
For fans of the podcast that we usually do, you guys know I have duplicate of suits, and I'll tell you, the suit I have bought more than anything are Seed suits. I mean, I think Cooper's seen it. I think I've showed you CD probably off show how many Seed suits I have. I rebuy them all the time. The Seed is my favorite series. Seed is once again, Wing got me into Gundam. I love Wing. I'll never stop it. Unicorn, I'm right there with you. Unicorn got me. Even though I wasn't truly left, Unicorn got me really
brought you there. Yeah, like it was like, oh yeah, I'm here.
But Seed was that time when you're just young and you're just enjoying robots fighting each other and a little bit of drama, a little bit of romance, and it's great. And that music right when it kicked in, I was like,
do you think that's why we like rom-coms, mangas, like some romance mangas?
I think so. Yeah, it's a hit wave of nostalgia in it a little bit because we grew up on shoujo. You and me grew up on shoujo mangas a lot, and going to school and like reading. Have you seen Dragon Ball? Have you read Rurouni Kenshin? You're like, yeah. Hey, have you guys read Orange recently? Yeah. And they're just like, what?
Oh, right? They're like, huh? Yeah. I think that's people still look at me like, bro, you read shoujo? And I'm like, that's like the first thing I'm going for.
Yeah,
that's why. Forget all this shonen. Like, where's the love?
Yeah. Shoot, man. Yeah, and that music, and also I'll say this: the mech fights, the fights were really well done, really well choreographed. Like I said, they were really fast, but by the end of it, I got used to it.
Right.
And I was enjoying the fights. Like they were especially Shin's fight, dude. Watching, and it was so satisfying watching all those Black Knights die. It was so sad, and the way they died too, the way he was killing them, it was just like, oh Jesus!
Because finally, like he was in his element. Like they were trying to read his mind, and he was like blank.
Too much darkness.
That was
That's
it.
what they said. They said just rage and darkness.
And I felt it because like he snaps. So I'm agreeing with you. My favorite parts were like that latter half, just that the space fights. We didn't even talk about we'll talk about it in the other suits, but that white suit. I think the fight scenes with that too, when it had the cavalry,
the dragoons. Every time it fired those dragoons, it looked great. That's why when I saw the high grade, we were talking about it, I was like, that high grade looks. I'm like, I think I might get this. In the movie, it looked great.
Yeah, I think though that's probably up there for one of my favorite suits out of this movie. Honestly, everything I saw in there, I was like, I can see myself buying. I know I'm not, but I made myself like super excited to see each one of these in high grade form.
Dude, the Akushiki and the fact that Mu LaFlago was flying it and used the line, and what he does with it when that beam came up, and he was like, "Yeah, your fleet. I'm just gonna use the beam on your whole fleet." And I was just like, dude, in that line, it's hard being the guy making the impossible possible. Just got me. And even in the insane scene, Mu. Once again, Mu is my favorite male character in Gundam, and seeing Mu and Rominus like actually not only together, but in all the scenes they're together, and they're vibing with each other, made me happy. I was like, this is the one couple that has literally lasted.
When she jumped into his arms at the end of the movie, and I was like,
yeah, that's when that's when I started clapping too. I was like, yeah, and they deserve it too.
Yeah, they deserved it. Do you have any least favorite moments, or is it all pretty good?
So there are two things. One, and this is an awkward one, but something I noticed that was really weird. The sound design, as much as I praise the music, the sound design, especially when it came to characters who were walking, for some reason they upped the volume whenever they took a step. So, and there would be nothing playing, you just hear them stepping, but the steps were so loud. It was actually kind of like jarring at first and kind of hurt my ears.
Oh no.
I don't know why. It was just, I was like, what are these people walking on? Bamboo? Like what? Why is there so much noise here? And another thing, the pacing. As I said before, there are definitely movies in the moments in the movie where they really should have dragged some emotional parts out. Like let it sink, let it actually sit there, so they can sit in this bit of angst that these they are technically teenagers. Well, they're 20 now. They're in their 20s. These young adults are having, right? Especially Shin. There's a moment when Shin's sitting by himself, just looking down. We're like, all right, drag that out. But that was like 2 seconds and then it's gone, right? Or Kira's doubt about Lacus, or Lacus and Kira's doubt about the relationship. Let that drag on a little bit. Like let it breathe. That's
all we ask for.
We are fans. We will sit here and enjoy it. You don't have to. And guess what? You don't even have to animate it that well. Right, that much animation. Just draw one scene and pan the camera across very slowly with giving some music, and we'll eat it up. So yeah, that's my two main gripes I think with it is really the pacing could be slowed down a bit, and that I don't know what it is. The sound design. Sometimes walking, sometimes eating, sometimes picking up silverware. It's the small little details they add in after the movie that for some reason they cranked the volume up to 11 on those things that were not important. What were yours?
I think just Agnes, she kind of just she was useless to me, and I feel like she didn't progress the story, and I feel like I kind of stole away from Luna Maria's fights. I feel like she should have been really up there with Shin beating some Black Knight ass, and she kind of got pulled away to deal with Agnes, and like she didn't need to really have to do, like Agnes wasn't going to kill her.
Yeah,
and
she was not going to beat her,
and so like blow her shit up and like blow her legs off, blow her arms off, whatever, and then keep it pushing. Like her character, I just didn't like it. I loved the suit, one of my favorite suits, but like her character, like, and that's not even a bad thing. I just think it was unnecessary. They could have replaced it, or like you said, if they had some more time to like really draw out a conflict, because her switching sides just like that, because he was like, "No, I don't like you." Like that was like weird to me. She like ruined the whole thing.
Yeah, and just to get appreciation, and we're like, the fact that they have you on the ship and they trust you is their appreciation.
Yeah, like she's trying to kill Kira. I was like, what?
Small little thing though. Did you notice in the scene where Luna Maria is piloting the Destiny and she blows up all the missiles in that one shot with their blaster? It was the same exact pose and framing as the original show when they redid animation. So they took all the animation that we saw that was redid a million times, right? They did each one of those one pose just for once though. They didn't redo it. They just did one pose so you remember that shot and then move on. That's why I'm saying this movie was made for us. This movie was made for us. I was losing my mind because my brain was just going off everything I remember of that. But I'm sorry, continue.
No, that was my biggest gripe. Honestly, the fight scenes are amazing. just her character. I did notice though when you're talking about like the steps, I was like, "Damn, you are like, why is it so noisy?" Like I know they're supposed to be like, on the ship, but that was like super loud.
I was like, is everyone wearing stilettos? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, and I just wish it was a little bit longer.
Yeah,
even though it was long for like a Gundam movie, it just it needed to slow down just a little bit. I feel like it was a little rushed in some portions of it. Like they got the space and they were really fighting like within like 10 minutes. So I feel like there should have been a little more time in there just to kind of draw it out. But those are small gripes. It was amazing. But let's talk about suits. I'll pull up some model kits. What was your favorite suit?
The Justice Spec 2 got me. I've now fallen in love with that suit. The Cavalry is dope, and the Akushiki, Akushiki or Aksushiki, is once again now just proving my love for the Strike. Guys, behind me is my favorite mobile suit ever.
If you haven't noticed,
and there's a gold version of it called the Akushiki, and it's in this, and it is one of my grail kits. The problem that's always stopped me from buying it is money. It's not even availability, it's just money. And actually sometimes availability, more time availability.
Are we gonna talk about the cost of it now too? Because
dude, it's $100 for the RG.
Oh yeah, that's
$100 for the RG that just dropped. And I'm like, I'm thinking about it. And the Robot Spirits one, the metal figure was even more expensive than that. So but still, those three suits I got to give them in, and special honors go to the Strike Freedom. I was never a fan of the Strike Freedom. It was actually one kit that I never liked. His design I never liked, even when the MGEX came out. Never liked it. I just thought it was just a Freedom rehash, and I love the Freedom. The Freedom, especially growing up, was my favorite suit of all time. So just seeing a rehash of it with slight gold accents in it made me just bleh, actually kind of upset that they even touched it. So, but in this, yeah, this they redeem it. It's still maybe the fourth best suit in my opinion, but yeah, I mean it's fighting the Galgoog spot. The Galgoog was pretty damn good too.
Galgoog's 3, Gien's 2, that sword impulse. I'm a when I paint my kits, I repaint everything, and as soon as I seen that shit red, I'm like, yo, impulse is one of my probably like top 2 seed suits for me. I love it. Like I have
beautiful.
I have 3 or 4 different iterations of the impulse, real grade size. So
I have all the master grades in the drawer right there. I have even
something about the impulse. So when I seen that, I was like, either I'm gonna buy one and paint it, or I'm gonna wait. But I'm probably gonna do both. It was. I wish I got more screen time of it. But what was your least favorite suit, if you have one?
Oh yeah, so definitely one of the Black Knight suits, particularly the green one, the neon green one, looks just ridiculous to me. I just couldn't. I didn't even like the pilot design, like the character design. I was like, wow, even the pilot who pilots is ugly. It's ugly. They were reusing some older Zaku suits. I was actually never a fan of the Zaku. I built the Zaku. I like the kit. Don't like the suit. The horn is silly for me. And a whole bunch of other elements for it are just not kicking. When I saw the Zaku, I was like, ugh, get off the screen. The good thing is it blows up immediately. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And they even bring back the Gin. They know the Zaku wasn't really that good because they bring back the Jin. The Jins are in this prominently. That and I would say probably the other Shiva, maybe the orange one. If not that, if I have to be another suit, probably the daggers, the Dagger L's. Yeah. The Wingdoms have always looked better to me, and I don't know why they just didn't use Wingdoms, but the Dagger L's.
There's like another it was kind of looked like it was controlled by a robot. It looked like a Jin, but didn't have like the head. It was just like I don't know what it was, but it looked stupid to me. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I wish we'd have got more from the Buster 2.0. It was dope to see that in that. What's the mobile
meteor units?
Yeah, so it was dope to see that, but like I wish, their fight scene was like 15 seconds.
Yeah, and the Buster was barely updated. I mean, the Duel got a good update. The Buster got just a few things here and there added to it, and that was it. The Duel is the Dual Blitz, so it's half Blitz, half Duel. It looks pretty dope. The shoulders are a little bit too angular for me, but hey, you know what? I like the Duel so much it doesn't even matter. And Ezak I actually kind of like. But the Buster with the meteor unit, they looked a lot better. They look cool.
Has that released recently?
Yeah. We actually just got it at Hobby Town. We got 5 of the meteor units back in stock, the high grade ones. And
I
they're
was gonna say
pretty,
that
they're
makes sense
big.
then.
Yeah, right. Makes sense. Yeah, they get that money, man. And also, you know what? I'll also do an honorary mention to the Zeus, the mobile armor. When the Destiny puts on the Zeus, it looks good. It actually looks pretty good in my opinion. The Destiny also for some reason looked better. I don't know why. I guess it was the animation, but yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. I understand the Destiny has never been anyone's favorite. It just looks, it's like too much going on. But keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like the more muted colors on it, but the Destiny is a lot. It's a good model kit though. I'm not gonna lie. The high grade's really nice. I think the Black Knight model kits, I don't know why Bandai is giving us a P Bandai version of all of them because I don't think anyone's really gonna buy it. But
I only seen 2 or 3 people buy it so far, and they're doing it literally just because they're collectors. They want the whole collection so they can take a picture of all of them together, and that's it.
That's so dumb.
They're not even gonna paint it; they're just gonna snap it.
All right, so I pulled up a list of some of the kits. We're gonna look through these and see which ones we might cop and which ones we're really gonna cop. So first off, we have that Zagok here. This one was pretty epic, yo.
I think I'm gonna get this.
I'm waiting to get to the shot for the bottom of the feet for what
is.
you can see right there. I'm sure that it's just molded in there. There's no way that it's not, but the fact that they did put that in there,
Nice.
I love it. I love the little homage. You said you think you're gonna get this, Austin?
I think I am. You know what? I think we were even talking earlier on a previous podcast that I actually the Zagok's been growing on me. So this has been just another added like, okay, I think this is the first Zagok I'm gonna buy. Is this? Do
you think we'll get a P Bandai version because it had like 2 other kind of backpacks?
Yeah, that EWAC or AWAC's backpack. Yeah, we're definitely getting a P Bandai version. Because Bandai is Bandai, and this movie made enough money to justify it. So
every kit in this movie is getting Gundam mobile suit is getting a kit for sure.
Yeah.
And then we have the Atukaki Gundam here. That's a lot of gold, bro.
That's a lot of plated gold.
Yeah,
that's a lot of plated gold. I do want to get it. Once again, money's kind of a problem. I'm not usually a fan of plated gold. I like the gold that's on the master grade Hakushiki, that kind of matte colored gold. But this, I love the Ankushiki or Asusiki. I call it the Ankushiki. But I love that suit so much that it could be painted gold, it could be painted black or gray, and I would still buy it.
And it's crazy because the metal build just came out. We were talking about it.
Yep.
And then this, and Seed's getting pretty spoiled right now with mobile suits. Like I haven't seen a release this big. Like Witcher Mercury got a lot of suits. IBO still gets suits every once in a while, but this initial release, Bandai knew Seed was gonna sell.
Yeah.
And they threw all their money into it.
That's the saying. Seed sells, man. Seed sells. And you know what's crazy? They're releasing a whole bunch of paraphernalia like towels, plates, cups, acrylic stands, all that stuff, because all that periphery stuff outside of the model kits sells really well to the people who originally loved Seed, who weren't model builders. So
I'm sure I'll eventually come up with some stuff too. Yeah. This looks really good. I'm sure it's probably all going to be undergated. Yep. People have been mentioning like some of the joints look like they might be reused for some older rail grades, so that might be my only concern. But
that would be my only concern too, because the original strike rail grade, which I have here, is one of the worst rail grades out there.
Is that built?
No, it's just in the box. Yeah, no, it's just in the box. But this is one of the original strikes. I am going to build this eventually once I'm done with my master grade strike. Eventually, that way I'll have the rail grade, the high grade, and master grade. But from what I've been told, this is not a fun time.
Yeah, it has really weak joints in the knees and the elbows and the shoulders. So hopefully, if they are reusing it, they just upgraded some of them. Like they've done that with the Dom, just giving us a 0.5. I don't even know. This is the Stein might have some upgraded joint parts. So if they can at least do that, don't make us spend this money and give us shitty inner frame that can't hold up the gun.
You know what? I would be mad, but also this would probably be. I'll have to buy 2 because one's gonna stay in the box.
Yes, the box art is gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see that. Just look at that.
Cannot wait. Ooh.
All right. Would you say this is one of your favorite model kits coming out?
So this is the Marsumi Kai. I'm bad at pronouncing the name, but it's essentially a Zeta Plus C1 remake. but it looks even cooler when transformed. So it is in my opinion, it's probably one of the cooler Seed kits out there. And the fact that Orb likes to make their suits have plane wings, regular airplane wings, but with missiles on them,
Right.
visual is even better. This is essentially a Zeta is C1 A1 or a Zeta plus A1. If you look at the shield, is the head of the jet form, the cockpit transformed over there to there. That's the back binder. It's just you get vertical stabilizers and wings and missile pods to show off. If when I get one, I might get two, and they're going to be just in this form, Wave Rider form.
I was thinking about it. Like I don't really like the way the Gundam looks. But this form
looks great.
Like at first, I'm pretty sure on the last pod we talked about this, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get it. This form, I might paint it like a Macross kit.
Dude, it doesn't this look like essentially it's a Macross?
It looks like it need a Jolly Roger symbol somewhere on it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like a Macross kit meets a Zeta.
Like right,
it's great.
It's it almost has like a Gearwalk form. Like you might be able to mod it enough to like get the legs down like that. So
yeah,
I probably need to. We should do a group build of this.
Yeah.
I'm here for a group build of that. I don't know if Coop will do it, but
he won't. But you know what? We'll
get it.
We'll get it.
This is what we were talking about. One of the highlights of this past hobby show. This was called the what again, Austin?
Well, I call it the Cavalry. I know the name is something different, but if you look at it spelled, it kind of looks like Cavalry. But it's essentially close enough. It's a Shiva variant, but it's all white, all gold. All that gold that you're looking at are individual parts. There's no masking, there's no tape, masking tape needed. There's no, what is it? Stickers, sheets.
As Coop was saying, I think he was just hating. Like,
yeah. I know. It's because he liked it. You know why? It's because at the end he said he kind of likes it, and he knows if he
trying to talk himself out of it.
Yeah,
he was trying to talk himself out of it because he knew he liked it, like you said. But yeah, this is beautiful, and the fact that Bandai's now getting down to giving us part separated things like this, like they have to keep this up now because we're going to be expecting this out of all their kits. They can't short us anymore if they're giving us all this part separation.
And after that look, and I saw this come out, I decided to do a little bit of a deep dive and see what was the last bad release that Bandai did. Right, I had to go back to 2001.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm just now blanking on the name, but Bandai's been putting out every kit. They release less and less every year. Right, this is the first year where they've released actually a large amount of kits. But it seems like they went back to the drawing pad and just said, let's just focus on making things good. Quality. And you know what? I haven't run into a bad kit in a while, especially their master grades too. I mean, because some of them are just revamps. But I mean, their new ones apparently have no problems. So I think this will be a fantastic kit. The articulation looks pretty solid as well. So.
And all of those effect parts. I don't remember. Let's say the price was like $45, but
yeah.
I'm not mad spending $45 for the part separation. There's not many seam lines I can see. The nub, I don't see very many nubs.
The box art's going to be thick.
The
box is going to be thick.
Oh yeah, it's going to be. Would you say like a Psycho Gundam?
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those not very long but very tall.
Like a deep box, like a real. Because look at all the effect parts. I know we were talking about Coop was like. Bandai threw all their beam sabers in these boxes, and I agree.
The Destroy Gundam and this, they just had excess beams lying around, and they said, "Get rid of them. Just find a suit to get rid of them."
That's it.
And apparently, these stands that all these dragoons are flying on are actually from the Witcher Mercury bits stands. So you have to buy that stuff separately. So there's no stand for these, but they do separate and they do fly around. I mean, not fly around, but they can be displayed as flying around off the kit.
If they were flying around. Come on, give me another. And I believe that's a high grade 2 for the Destiny with the backpack.
The Freedom, the Mighty Strike Freedom.
I'm not copying it. So.
No, I couldn't care less. It's plated katana sword is the only thing that looks nice, but even then, I'm just like, nope, don't care about the katana. So
now we have to get a mastery to this, right? Like, there's no way they don't.
Honestly, no. I don't see one coming because antagonist suits in Seed are something that rarely
is there one
besides the Providence. The Providence.
mean, I guess
That's
like the
kinda
Blitz,
it.
but they're like that's not really
That's not really
like the
antagonist.
3. Yeah,
Yeah, they're just the G weapons, and they come back as heroes, and they come back as good guys in the end,
yeah.
all of them.
So
So, d- is there a bad guy suit? Like we never
just
got Raul Crucet's any of Raul Crucet's suits.
no.
Yeah, we the only bad guy suits we got are the Destroy Gundams, all the Destroy Gundams.
What
And
do you think we're gonna get a master rate of from this line?
we're definitely getting the Rising Freedom and the Infinite Justice or whatever justice was there, and the Justice Spec 2, because the Freedom it sells in China like you wouldn't believe. It is the most popular suit.
They have a statue.
Yeah, they have a statue, and this is the most popular series, so that's getting a master grade. That's free money. The Justice definitely is getting one because they're going to make a Freedom. They can just take the mold, the base mold of that, the inner frame, and just slap the Justice parts on it with some modifications. And then after that, maybe a new Destiny Spec 2 on P Bandai, maybe a new Impulse color variants on P Bandai.
Oh, that's a one a year.
Yeah, one a year, right?
One every 2 years. We're getting at least one of those.
And if we want to be wishful thinking, the Galgoog, but once again, that's gonna the Galgoog Menace. But once again, that's very wishful thinking.
Very wishful. But I was surprised they gave us all those variants of the Zaku Warrior. So
yeah, true.
Maybe
and all those color variants of the Galgoog Menace look dope.
Right. So maybe they give us one. And I'm sure they could probably build it just the same way. Like you built the Zaku Warrior. You know, it's not much to it.
It is not complex. The Zaku Warrior, the Jin, a lot of those suits actually feel like high grade.
Yeah, they're literally they're like full mechanics.
Yeah, they're full mechanics. They're essentially full mechanics, just with armor slapped on.
I can't even say full mechanics without thinking about Coop saying him smiling in the back of my head like full mechanics.
We know what we're getting him for Christmas, right?
Yes.
Just a bunch of full mechanics.
That's it.
We're gonna take away his narrative Gundam, his Andrew Stein, say, no, you a full mechanics guy.
Nah, yeah, that's all you. What are you talking about? So next up here we have the Zeus silhouette with the Destiny Spec 2. This looks huge.
It's huge, man.
And I thought the thing on the back was like another, but it comes with it. Like that's all. Like I'm like, bro, this is. I don't know how you display this without having like a monster case.
And it comes with extra barrels because after it fires, it has to recharge. It has to discard a barrel and get
3 barrels on the back. Like, do you think they'll make a real great version of this?
No.
I'll
say this: third parties are already on it, though.
Oh yeah,
dude. Matter of fact, to your previous question, a third party Rising Freedom, if I heard correctly, is already in the works. Yeah,
I mean, I was on a certain website and I seen the Chinese version of the
Mark II.
Yeah, that looked crazy. They also had the
Woundwort Chinese version.
And then what was the latest Gundam Extreme, the EX Gundam? What was it? The Freedom?
The Rising Freedom, Mighty Freedom. Yeah, Mighty Strike Freedom.
$60 on there. And
wow, really?
Yeah.
See, and Daban apparently is already working on another seed kit too. So like it's the third parties are about to just be eating really well too.
Right. Yeah, at this point, if Bandai's not going to do it, they will.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with it. Like I'm not gonna not. I'm gonna go get it.
With this recent drops, it looks like Bandai took note because a lot of the kits that they dropped are the ones that were resins like really popular, just getting up. So I think Bandai's noticing that they're starting to get their field.
I'm not mad. Like Bandai came out, they probably just dropped 30 heat, like 30 suits, and they're all heat. Like I was like, oh man,
yeah.
Like, Seed brought them back because they were losing in the fight, but now they're back. So let's see what else they got here. This is just more shots of the Zeus pack. It looks amazing though, I'm not gonna lie.
It does look good. I like it. I do like this. The only problem I have is probably space. I don't know if I have space for this.
You got 2 stands holding up, so
yeah,
I know it's not too big. And here we have one of the variants of the Gien. This is like the general type, and we also have the Gelgoog Menace next to it. Both these like just amazing looking suits, and they have like the Seed, the new updated Seed joints, so they're super posable too. So that's the one thing.
System.
Yes, exactly what it's called. That's the one thing about these. Like, I usually don't buy kits unless I really want them. But as soon as I seen these, I was like, Gelgoog came in stock, got it. When this comes up here, I'm getting it. Like these Like Seed really sold me with these designs for this movie for sure.
Yeah, man. Especially that Galgu. It's not here in our area yet, but dude, once it gets here, that's gonna be an instant cop for me. Instant.
Are you gonna paint it the same colors?
Oh no, it's getting a grunt color. You already know it, brother. I've seen the blue one that someone painted, and I've seen the green and gray one.
Bro, the green and gray one, just like the regular Gelgoog cannon.
Yeah, it's got to be one of those.
Oh my god! So this is another up close shot. And the dope thing about these Seed kits, they're like $30, but they're worth it. They come with like this Guyon comes with 4 hands, the little sword on its waist, the axe on its back, the backpack. These kits are packed with effect parts. The whip in its hand, like. You're not just getting $30 for a kit, like you're getting $30 plus kit, accessories, weapons.
Heck yeah, dude. I mean, what your Galgu came with 2 beam rifles, 1 sniper rifle,
right.
1 regular rifle, and I think there's even an experimental rifle there and something like that.
Yeah.
So there's like, dude, I was like,
effect parts, like the shield breaks, it has an effect parts in there, like it's worth it. And the box is deep too, so like it has a lot to it. The only thing is it's a lot. The backpack is sticker heavy, but I mean, that's a fine trade. We're gonna paint it anyway, so why not?
Yeah.
I mean, here we have the Justices. Yeah, both growing on me. I don't like the Rising Freedom. Is that the Rising Justice or Immortal Justice?
I think it's Immortal Justice. Yeah.
I don't like the transformation because I don't like the Gundam head just looking down like that. But I think these have been top coated because they look pretty flat. But
yeah, these look pretty. Yeah, I was gonna say that these look pretty flat.
Okay, they don't got the usual band guy doing these ones. These look pretty good. I'm not gonna
right. they saw the band guy and all the other pictures where they had nub marks left, and they're like, we need to get a new dude.
Yeah, he's retired, but this X-wing backpack looks great. I love the beam effects on there. Like, are you gonna comment?
I do like the cut. I do like the cutouts in the V-fin on the Immortal Justice. Like they're divoted, or not divot. They have a chisel there to it. I like that. But if I'm gonna pick one of the two, the Atherin's Justice, in my opinion, is the best one. That looks far better.
And the backpacks probably can go on any of these kits too. So customization is gonna be crazy for these two, I'm sure.
Oh, dude, kit bashing is gonna be amazing. We're gonna get some great kit bashes out of this.
Oh yeah,
people.
You might catch me kit bashing. I don't really do that too much. But
me either. But yeah, dude, if it's that easy, why not? And all the joints are the same.
Yeah. So boom. And these are the Black Knight Squad, which is there's only one that's actually released. That's just the green one. The other ones are going to be P Bandai and then the main Black Knight here. So if you want the full set, you gotta spend some bread on P Bandai. And I don't know if the full set you can build all 3.
I don't know either. I think it comes with all 3 individually. I think because it's $70, and that's usually means that you're getting more than one suit. So yeah,
I pray, but nothing really crazy.
Gotta catch them all.
Literally,
that's the only reason to buy these is if you want a whole complete set. Personally, I only need that one, and I'm done. Yeah,
this actually has grown on me. It looks really good. I like the legs. Like I said, I thought the cape was going to be cooler, but I'm here for it on the kit. Like, it's Seed, so I like.
I love the fact that it has the Hakushiki's eye camera. So it has a single eye that lights up or a scanner eye.
So when that happened in the movie, I was like, oh, this is.
I was like, this is when they had that laser designator that locked onto it. I was like, oh, okay, now this suit looks cool now. All right, this is pretty dope.
That was sick. I think this is a pass for both of us.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see it a real grade version or a master grade down the line.
Unfortunately, we are.
Yeah,
I'm just not a fan. And the MGEX is probably going to get that different backpack.
For sure. Boom. Good, copping this?
Let's duel. I'll wait for the master grade. I've never picked up the high grade of the duel. I always think it looks too simplistic. The master grade has always added more that just amount of detail I like. So
I have the first release high grade of this.
The older one.
Ooh,
dude.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm saying, like, people like I really liked Seed. Like I have the 100 Blitz, like no grade Blitz. I have the 2 or 3 Astray 100 builds. Like I really liked Seed.
Yeah, well, you got to if you got those.
Yeah, that's all we had back in the day. Okay,
that's true. That is true.
That's what we had. That's what we had. But yeah, those are terrible kits now. Oh my god, terrible. I'm not getting this.
No,
I don't know about you. Yeah, pass.
I like. Yeah. No, we're good.
No.
Walking on.
this is grown on me. I'm not gonna lie. This is the Rising Freedom. This is grown on me. It gets
Definitely
washed out really quick, but I've definitely seen a lot of custom paint jobs on it, and I was like, okay.
I saw Naoki's build and Inmaker's build of it, and completely blew me out the water and convinced me this looks beautiful when done right.
Now, do you like it without the holes, the face vents? Like,
no, I've said that several times. I am not a fan of masks. There's very few suits where masks work for me. The Duel is one of them, right? But there's no other suit I ever care about that has masks. I need face vents. Face vents makes things look like an actual Gundam to me. It has a face. It's what terrifies enemy is the face. The V-fin in the face. When you hide it and it's just a mask, it looks like just a sleek other mobile suit, like a sleek robot. Yeah. You're like, ugh.
What do we call those? The GMs, the General Mechs.
The General Mechs. It's like a sleek General Mech.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, you're not special.
We don't want General Mechs over here. So broke down the kits, favorite suits, best models. What do you think is next for Seed? Now you keep saying there's a movie coming.
So apparently there's some rumors that Bandai did greenlight a sequel, another movie. This did make all of its money back, or not all of it, but I believe all of it. Yeah, it made its money back, and the kits are selling well. So, and once again, Bandai is like Seed sells, and we need another hit like this. Just greenlight another movie. And there's some rumors that apparently it might be called Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Justice. So this time hopefully it follows the story of Athrun and Kigali, and they finally can get married, because Kigali is my favorite female character. Their relationship.
She still got that ring in the box.
She still got that ring on her neck. She still wears it, and I'm just like, just put it on. Just put it on. You're the president of a nation. Ain't nobody gonna challenge you on that.
Yeah,
but it's a ring. But yeah, and she's in the movie too for a brief moment, but she even has a hilarious moment. But it's apparently there might be that movie, and right now we don't know for sure, but I know for a fact there's 2 master grades at least of the Rising Freedom and something else coming. So what's next for Seed is going to be probably a lot more spin-offs, probably talking about the Astray team during this time, what happened to them, going over the Liberian unit, like stuff like that. This will just increase the lore for Seed overall, and the small little back channels in which that have kept it alive for so long.
I think some Astray content, like I know there's like some OVAs with the Astrays in there, but maybe like a series about the Astrays.
A short OVA, 3 episodes, 4 episodes,
nothing
maybe.
Crazy. So
yeah,
I feel like how many years has it been since Destiny?
It's been 20 years since this movie. So it's been 20 years since the end. And the thing about that, 20 years.
Yeah, I think Bandai realized. I feel like they've known Seed sales, but after this, they're like, all right, like we have. There's money in this. Let's pump some more money into this. But my question is, do you think do we get number 2 before we get Hathaway 2?
So, that's a good one, because Hathaway's been already in production. But here's the thing: Bandai is notorious for having production hell when it comes to theatrical movies. So we don't know. We could be another 20 years before we get either. So if my money's on the table, dang, if I was a betting man, I would say Hathaway would come out before we get another Seed movie. If I'm a man of business who thinks business overall, we were going to get a Seed movie. Hathaway is going to be pushed back on the little bit of, not the back burner, but just a lighter staff and a lighter amount of attention, which could be good for Hathaway, because the first movie was a little bit of a. I like Hathaway, everyone, when I say this, but it was it was a bit of a snoozer. There's 2 things that kept you awake, and one of them was really good. The other one was not.
Was it Gigi?
The thing that kept you awake was that night fight. The night fight when they're running with Gigi, sure. That the second fight where they're just falling through the atmosphere,
terrible,
bro. Like, can you see anything?
Right.
Even the night fight, you couldn't see much, but it still kept it engaging.
The dramatics, dog. Him running through the town, like.
Yep. Okay. Watching everyone run away, like just trying to get away, and then when it ends in the park. But no. But for Seed, back to Seed, guys. Yes. If I was a betting man, I would say we're getting Hathaway first. But if I'm going with my heart, I think Seed's they're gonna make another movie Seed first, because the money's here. They got the money, and the Seed division of Bandai is like, that's our money.
Right.
That's not Hathaway's money. That's our money.
And why not? You have the cast all here. Like they
did recast people. That's right. Yeah, and they're still young. Yeah, go ahead.
So, and before like I said, I watched it in sub, and they had the three main sub actors there talking.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have that in the dub?
No. They had just the director as the first person.
So we got
answered.
Shin, Kira, and Lakis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All their Japanese voice actors came back, and they all like they say, "Hey, we're happy to be back. Love Gundam." Like, so I thought that was dope. They're interested in it.
In
So,
the English one, well, there was some controversy with Seed because Kigali's the voice actor Kigali apparently was having an affair with one of the writers, so she was, I believe, changed, and that's probably why she wasn't there. but on the dub, they did change almost all the voice actor. Kira sounds weird. Like it sounds weird at first, but you get over it. But and if you watch the original series and then you go immediately watch into this, like I did, it sounds so jarring. You're like, what's happening?
See, I'm okay with that because I've only watched this. I watched the shows in dubbed, but I wanted to see the movie in sub, so I didn't know I already expected it to be different. So I was like, oh, this is fine.
So yeah, so you got the good attention. You didn't have that 5 minutes for awkwardness like Clues.
Yeah.
Why is her voice so different?
Yeah, I'm reading it as it is anyway, so I'm saying it like the way I think it.
Mm-hmm.
So
shoot, yeah, you good?
Oh, we said what's next, but let's talk before we get out of here. Let's rank some Gundam movies.
Oh yeah.
Where do you put this on your Mount Rushmore Gundam movies? First, what's give me 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I'll give you 3 Gundam movies. I'm not going to do particular order because that's going to be difficult for me right now. Endless Waltz is definitely in there.
Mm-hmm.
This movie definitely Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom. And then the dub version of this Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom.
Wow.
There is nothing that comes close. This is, in my opinion, as a Seed fan, I have to always preface that. This is my favorite Mobile Suit Gundam movie of all time. This is, in my opinion, the best Mobile Suit Gundam movie of all time. That doesn't mean Endless Waltz is bad. That doesn't mean Hathaway is bad. Endless Waltz is still very high in my heart. That was one of the first Gundam DVDs I ever owned.
Right.
But it's right about here.
Ooh.
It's
so this is number 1.
This is number 1.
This is
number 1. I could watch Endless Waltz a million times. I would watch this probably 1.5 million. Like I love Seed, and it did everything I wanted and some. And that moment, like I said, man, that moment when they used the music right when they all launched, and they used their exact music in the show when they launched, hit me. And that's where it lives in my brain now, as if I'm watching it now. Like it hasn't still gone away. It's been weeks. So yeah, this is my favorite Gundam movie of all time.
Is narrative in the top 5 for you?
No, you know me. I don't even like narrative. Narrative is we could have a whole show about why narrative isn't that good. Bring Coop on, and it will be a blast. But
Coop is going to say recency bias,
mm-hmm.
but I'm going to also go. I think I'm going to go nostalgia, but Endless Waltz is 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put this 2,
mm-hmm.
and for as much people hate they give Hathaway, I'm going to put Hathaway 3.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
This solidified Seed being like a top 5, top 3 Gundam series for me. Like this is all I asked for. I love the nitty gritty 8th MS team. I love Gundam Wing, but like Seed is really where I found my love for Gundam in. So like this is it for me. Like I said, people are gonna say recency bias because like we haven't got a Gundam movie since Kokodo's Doan's Island,
mm-hmm.
which I don't even know. Didn't really care for it like that. I like the Zaku's, but that was it. Narrative is okay. I've seen it a few times, but I can forget about it. If they made Unicorn into a movie, that might be top 1 for me. Unicorn's one of my favorite series, but other than
Unicorn's damn good.
Unicorn
can be a movie.
Yeah,
Trailblazer is there you go. So sorry.
Trailblazer, the 00 movie. I'm trying to think any other.
That's the thing. I was going down the list, and I'm thinking, like, that's why I said Bandai doesn't have the best track record when it comes to Gundam movies. Like, they're either wrap ups or poor sequels.
Exactly.
This is a wrap up of one of that period season and a good sequel. Yes. Like they done the amazing thing they haven't been able to do. So
yeah, this gave a perfect ending for it. I think Hathaway 2 has potential to be a amazing movie.
If they follow the books,
yes,
you're gonna want 2 and 3 are gonna be top tier.
So hopefully I'm not gray all over and still have Gundams by the time 3 is out, but I look forward to it. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah. If you are a Seed fan, it is a great time. It's fantastic. If you get a chance to go watch it again. And just count our blessings, because we might be in another 20-year hibernation. We're like cicadas, except we take 20 years to come out and just talk about Seed for a minute, and then we get eaten by turtles.
Yep.
So but yeah, no, it's a great time to be Seed fan, and just bask in this moment, enjoy it. We're CD, we made it.
Yeah,
we made it long enough
and be okay to say you're a Seed fan.
Yeah,
don't let the internet bully you. It's okay to be a Seed fan.
Everyone knows it's not the best series in the world. I remember we were watching it. There was a review video that says the absolute failure of Gundam Seed, and I was thinking the whole time, like, you know what? Sure, narrative failure. Sure, all the say failure all you want, right? But the fact that there's so many people that love it, it's such a success in of itself, kind of shows itself that sure, it failed in these other things, but what it did achieve was just a love of Gundam continuing.
That's it.
So
would you say that's the most popular non-UC series?
Iron Blood Orphans is up there, but you know what? I don't see as many people talk about Iron Blood Orphans as much as they talk about Seed. Seed is like, you
hate it or you love it, but it's talked about.
Yeah, it's hated or you love it, but it's Die Hard for the lovers and Die Hard for the haters.
Yeah.
But IBO, IBO's like in the middle of there somewhere. But yeah, nah, Seed has. I think it might be the most popular non-UC thing. I know it is the most popular sales-wise. So,
yep.
Yeah.
We heard it here. Go check out the movie when it comes in November on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find it, Selling the Seas, send the link because I would love to watch it again. But yeah, don't let no one bully you. Seed's good. It's okay to like Seed. We like Seed. We love Seed.
We like Seed. Hey, the original series, watch it again as an older person. There's more I appreciate it. There's parts where people say were bad characters. I look at it now as an older person and with the life experiences I've had, and I realize actually they might be probably better written than most Gundam characters. So
yeah, reuse animation. So what? Like,
yeah, so what?
It's anime.
Have you not seen reuse animation before?
Yeah,
everyone was doing it.
Anime. Like,
no one can afford to animate anymore. Only now can we afford to animate things.
Yeah, what? So, yeah, watch it. I appreciate you, Austen, sitting down. We have to get back to this. We've been missing out on anime takes and movies, so we'll have to get some reviews going.
Hey man, thanks for calling me up, bro. And doing this. It's been a while since I've been able to talk anime with my boy and gush over.
Coop bullied us into doing it, but we needed to do it anyway.
we needed it. And you know what? There are some anime shows that I did wrap up and I finished, and that we could probably do some more reviews coming up here. So, sign of affection.
Hey, makes you want to go learn sign language, right?
Right, another romance, man.
Oh yeah, so rom-com episode. Romance
rom-com episode,
shoujo episode.
Yep.
You guys heard it here first. We are going to be bringing you a shoujo episode soon, so tune in for that. But until next time, this is CD, Chloe's dad, and we got Gunpla X Tesseract over there, my boy Austen. Make sure you guys tune into Coop's Corner on Thursdays and watch that Underrated podcast on Wednesdays. And who knows, maybe we'll get some more anime takes from me and Austen in between those days. But stay solid, stay undergated. Peace.
Deuces.